This is Art Talk with April, Season 5. This season, we're talking with some return artists from previous seasons and some new artists, some people that are just starting out, and some gallery professionals. Hi, everyone. Today I'm talking with Chris Wade of Ethereal Geometry, Part 2.
Pencil bearing into the paper, and I started to see all of it, like, feel a lot more of craving towards that, of the process of dipping a brush with ink onto a wet piece of paper and just seeing how it spreads, and adding salt into it for texture. And then, the crazy dark shine of graphite, and almost on a mental level anyway, it's almost sensual, if that makes, like, not in a dirty way, but in a way of like, almost like looking at paint texture as if you're looking at appetizing icing on a cake. Kind of thing, Anyway, go ahead.
What do they call it? It's like ASMR or something, where you can hear, like...
Oh, I hate ASMR.
You do? Really?
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, and
I'm saying, like,
on an audio level, yeah.
This artist that I follow, that I just love their work. They do these really cool, like, almost like alien creature kind of things, and it's just very organic, and they do graphite with watercolor. And when they do their graphite on this, like, thick textured cotton watercolor paper, and and you can hear the pencils on the paper.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Okay, I like that. But I
like that.
I don't really like... what I can't stand is these videos where it's an unboxing of a product, and you hear the over pronounced pop of the box opening, and then every single thing.
Yeah, that's a little too much. Or the Posca marker clicks. Click, 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 click.
And, or like, especially these little hipster indie girls who...
Yeah. I'm gonna have to share. I'm gonna send you the video that artist. You will like this artist. I think it would inspire you as well. It's that kind of art that, like, it kind of gels with what you kind of do too. But their video, and I think they're from another country. I think they might be Russian. I don't know if they're Russian or not. But regardless, their art is really cool and imaginative. But those videos, it makes their art, like, you feel it. You feel the making of it, and you can see it, and you can see the paint drips, and
I almost want to describe it. Yeah, I almost want to describe it as, like, visual ASMR. Like, where it's not about the sounds and the lip smacking. It's not about the it's not about any of that. It's about the way the texture of what's in the art makes you feel or sensually crave. Like, oh my God, I really want to touch that painting.
Yes.
Or, oh my God, I really want to eat the paint chips on that. Or kind of like, in a way, God, I want to be like, I say this one that I'm working on.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's like this feeling of, man, I really want to touch that frame and get to be there during the process of the weathering of the metal on that painting. And just, it's hard to describe, but that, to me, that's a big part of, like, why looking at old weathered rocket parts, the metal, the riveting on it, it's so artistic to me. It's just absolutely beautiful, and that's actually my favorite thing to take pictures of. So I love photography too, but I don't want photography just being like, hey, I'm taking a picture of a thing. It's like, no, I want to capture the way this overlooked object that has been destroyed by the weather, how beautiful it looks on an artistic level. And a lot of people just don't, like, especially like in the aerospace field, they look at that kind of thing as, oh, this thing's destroyed. We need to repaint it and put it on display,
wow. Yeah.
To its former glory. And it's like, but as an artist, you understand that it's not time and weather and nature destroying the thing that is never going to launch. It's time and weather and nature. I guess you just call it nature is adding its own brushstrokes to it and making it into really beautiful work. So
completely organic process that wouldn't be able to, you couldn't make it.
Yeah. And like, honestly, I kind of see photography of these, of beautiful, pristine space hardware that has, looks polished and brand new. Some of it's really interesting. Yeah. But a lot of it, I feel like it's just looking at a product or products, or it almost looks like looking at a 3D rendered object on a screen. Rather than, it's like seeing the woman on the cover of a Sports Illustrated magazine. It's like, she doesn't look natural. She just looks
plastic, like a plastic kind of.
It's like looking at the Barbie dolls in my sister's room when I was a kid. It's like
mass produced things.
This is not interesting at all.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see like a realistic looking person. And, that's like, to me, it's like the weathering on an old piece of space hardware, or the weathering on a rocket or a jet. Of course, they're taking all the Pathfinder shuttle at the Space Center and the rockets and refurbishing them and making them look better than ever. And I'm excited for that, because it's going to be a real interesting, I see the Space Center just down the road from my house.
Yeah.
I see that as kind of an evolving art piece in a way, because of how it's changed over the years, the rust that was running down the Saturn V replica. So it's like, if I could see the Space Center as like a miniature in a glass bubble, the thing is evolving,
Yeah.
So I see that place as an artistic kind of expression in a way, even though it's all engineering and curation. But, but I've also had a lot of dreams about that place before I ever started working there.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm getting at is I'm rambling, going off topic, I know.
Well, I think what you're saying is that, or what I'm getting from it is that, like with the generative AI stuff and versus actual art, there's something that's precious and meaningful and more authentic about actual real artistic creations that you collect and you keep and you appreciate, and you have them in real life, and you can see the paint on the canvas, or you could see the metal or the weathering of the wood or whatever it is. It's a real experience, and it's a one of a kind that you can, even if it's a print of something, you've got the artist's signature on it, and it's like, it's from that real person that had a real, inspiring moment where they spent all of this time creating this thing. It's that human. I feel like it's such a part of our human nature to want to connect with other humans. And so there's just going to be a plasticness and mass produced thing with the generative AI. It looks cool. It may be fun to play with, but it's not going to give that experience that you have with real artists and real art. And I don't think it's going to replace it, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think we're panicking, and I don't want to say it's for nothing, but if they're stealing our work, that's messed up. Adobe is in hot water because of this, because they are saying that they own the rights to every single thing created in Adobe to use however they want. And it's messed up. Like, you can't steal our individuality, and they're going to try, and they've always been trying. And, whether it's Facebook saying they own the rights to everything we post, but now Adobe is saying we own the rights to replicate and make money off of anything you create. And, okay, yeah. So Adobe's in hot water. AI generative programs are in a situation where, from what I hear, they're in a situation where not only are they getting the crap suit out of them constantly now, they're in a situation where they think AI learning is about to hit a wall. And I'd be all for that. And, but it's like, use AI to make jobs easier, but not to eliminate jobs. And don't use AI to create our artwork for us. Artists don't want our job being done for us. I don't want my job being made easier using AI. My idea of making my job easier still involves using my hands and my brain and my problem solving. If I'm going to take shortcuts at all, it's going to be a shortcut such as using a ruler, using a compass, not to sound old school here, but, using a Posca marker so that I can draw the line on instead of having to use a brush. And because, bristles can be a little hard to control, especially if the ink flow isn't consistent, or if your hand pressure isn't consistent and staying above the surface at just the same exact level to make a consistent line. So yeah, sure, I may use one of these for a highlight. That's actually the reason I got these, was to see if it was going to make my painting more easy, like a lot easier. But thing is, I don't like these as much as painting. I like how quick I can come out with colorful stuff. I like how quick I can add a little highlight here and there, but I don't like the flow on those as much as I like the flow from a brush, So these won't replace what I do with the brush. Unfortunately, AI people, it's not that AI is a bad thing in itself. The problem is always how people use the tools they're given. Hey, we have nuclear energy. Hey, cool. Let's go destroy some people with it, or, hey, we got this thing that can do imaging for us. Hey, cool. Let's try to jump ahead in line of all the artists waiting for their big break, or waiting to, trying to reach their goal. Let's outdo them in a field we don't even know how to exist in the first place. Let's take and commandeer their space, and
it doesn't make
a picture in a program and jump into the t-shirt design business using.
It's wild. And then have you seen like the generative AI artists putting like watermarks on their generative AI images? Have you seen that?
Copyright AI. Anything created in AI, anything generated in AI cannot be copyrighted. So
it's literally, wild. It doesn't make sense.
These AI artists, they have no claim over anything they come up with. Yeah, and they want to say, "Oh, it's just a tool, just like using a pencil." No, it's not.
No,
it's if it completely bypasses the creative process altogether and gives you the end result with minimal effort on your part, you didn't create anything. You commissioned the computer to create it for you. Yeah. You're the customer, not the artist. And in fact, you're not even paying an artist to do it for you. You're bypassing the artist altogether and then trying to say you're the artist because you ordered a pizza from Domino's and they made it and they delivered it. And suddenly you're saying, hey, look at this pizza I created using Domino's, and Uber. And
it's so wild to me.
Yeah. Like I kind of want to make a video of getting the pizza delivered and then me saying, look at this amazing pizza I made using other people's services, which in a way, like doing the whole drop ship thing, that's kind of the same thing. I mean, getting your image plastered, an image you created, obviously, but then getting it plastered on a coffee cup you will never see by a company you've never interacted with, except you selected a couple of things online. Isn't that kind of the same thing? Except even that is still better than AI, because it is creating a product people are going to use that has your creation of an image on it. But I think people crave authenticity, and people are starting to get burned out on the AI fad. It's just a fad that's going to die away, I think.
Yeah.
Although I think that AI in general poses a danger to humanity, but
yeah, sure. There are bigger problems than what I feel like artists are really panicking, but there are way bigger problems, way bigger issues with AI that we're even like remotely, talking about here. But
I'm not going to spend the time going around trying to figure out if some program has used one of my images to come up with an image for somebody else that probably doesn't even look like mine in the first place.
Yeah.
It's not to say that it's not happening to people, but I feel like that it's the same level of paranoia as, I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, there could be real concerns about it. Yeah. I mean, or legitimate reasons to be concerned. Yes. But like, if they're taking my image and making money on it, what am I going to do? Spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a lawyer to try and, get them to stop doing it for money I'm never going to see? You know? No, I'm just going to keep on creating. And if they rip one of my images off, whatever. I don't know, not whatever. Yeah, it'll probably piss me off, but I'm going to go and I'm going to keep creating more. Eventually I'm going to move on from the imagery that I've done in the past. There's a lot of paintings. There are paintings in my studio still hanging there that I'm like, you know what? I'm over these paintings. Like I'm not there anymore. I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah.
I want to move these out. So make me an offer. I don't, if it's a good enough offer. Yeah.
They're cool. Like your older work. I mean, your work grows over time, and you change over time, and your work changes over time. So it's almost obsolete.
It's obsolete. I shed my skin, which obsolescence is another theme in my work that I'm starting to realize. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Show off your shirt.
I got this.
You got those new shirts. Yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
Obsolescence is a theme in my work now, not intended, but accidental, realizing this expended space hardware that, no longer exists. People look at my work and they think, oh, it's nature taking over, which I should call one nature's own, like the brand. But, to me, it's not about that. It's about, this work, it's like the themes that are in it. It's like internalized trauma, or left versus right brain, organic versus technical, or the fear versus dreaming, fear versus faith, spiritual versus religious, just so many different things, or letting go of old mindsets and moving on, and moving on into a future it's as bright as you decide it's going to be.
So much symbolism in your work, and I mean, I think that's why, I don't know, it's hard for me to believe that people would look at it and be like, well, that's really strange, because I don't think it's really strange at all. There's so much that's interesting about it. There's so much that each individual person could get out of your work, I feel like.
But usually people's first comments are always one of two things. It's either, you really like to draw rockets. Wow, you're good at drawing rockets. Or it's wow, it's like nature taking back over, and triumphing over man's creation. I'm like, I don't see it that way at all. The other day, someone tried to turn it into a political statement of anti-capitalism. I'm like, my work is not political at all. I mean, sure, you got this left-right brain thing going on between Democrat and Republican, but, my work is not political. I'm not making a political statement about which politician I like or dislike, or which economic system works or doesn't work.
Yeah.
Everything's imperfect, and
absolutely
nothing will ever be perfect. To quote Jason 2, or was it Jason One in the show Dark Matter, new show, it's on Apple TV. He said something to the effect of, I meant to get this, like write this quote down, but he said something to the effect of, imperfection in itself is a different kind of perfection. And because if you have everything perfect, it's going to be, you might as well just keep it in a glass case, never to touch it. Life cannot happen with perfection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe the imperfection is the toy box, so to speak, where we can build where we can build a different kind of perfection where, hey, we're enjoying life and what we're building out of it. And, obstacles are there for us to create new life, create new opportunity, to create beauty. I don't want perfection. I want creation.
Mm-hmm.
And AI wants perfection and doesn't allow for creation. Guys who try, AI bros is what people call them. Mm-hmm. They want perfection and a shortcut and a leg up over the people who want creation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're creatives. We don't want finished artwork as much as we want the process of creating and the joy of creating and sharing it with people. And honestly, there's times when I think, if I had all my bills paid for and I didn't have to worry about anything, and I say money wasn't a thing, I would just create and create and create and give my artwork to people. I would decorate the world if I could for free. If everything was taken care of, because I want to create and I want to share that beauty with other people, and I want to let them into that creative space and that dreaming space, not create a bunch of finished products to come up with product for a cash grab.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was in it for the money, I'd be an engineer or an investor or something. I can't stand the thought of being.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists aren't in it for the money, and that's the thing.
Yeah. We're in it because we couldn't not do it.
Yeah. There's a passion for it there that
it's vision that we can't get rid of.
Sure.
And all we can do is hop into that little stream or river or ocean and experience it. And we can't it's like our purpose, our life's purpose that we decided on before we came here was, I have to jump into that river. That's where I belong. And it's a vibrant, colorful river of electric light that we are channeling to the world around us. And it's invisible until it gets put on canvas. It gets translated into creation. And,
I love that. I love the way that you're thinking about it. And I think it's a really positive, inspiring viewpoint in a world where we're all kind of like, the world's on fire and we're all like, hey, will someone buy my art?
Well, the art itself is the water to put out those fires.
Yeah, really.
But it's a different kind of fire altogether. It's coming from an internal fire, that the right color. That makes sense.
Sure,
like the right color combination. Whereas the fires outside of, that are causing us to worry, that's a fire with a nasty color combination. It's like, puke brown and mustard yellow and
the worst possible colors.
With some kind of, nauseous blue mixed in. No blue whatsoever. I don't know. But, then I feel like maybe that fire that I'm trying to give to people is a bunch of, I don't know. I don't even want to say synthwave or vaporwave, but Dr. Seuss colors meets vaporwave meets, pastel colors of, I don't know, very neon vibrant electric colors.
Yeah.
With the evening sky mixed in, and it's very ethereal. And that's kind of where I come from. Ethereal geometry. It's like, trying to channel something from way, like somewhere, if you were to turn reality inside out and find that place.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's hard to describe that without just going into a bunch of metaphors.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's great. And I love the work that you're doing now. I think it sounds like you're very inspired by some of the contacts and, experiences that you've had recently. with other artists. And it's very exciting. It's exciting to see, your work changing and developing into something new. And
yeah,
that's always so exciting, because I can see that you're on a path that you're really excited about. It shows in your work.
Yeah. Now, if I just can master the process of getting paid to do it, and I'll say
well,
this.
Do you have any more events coming up in the fall or anything like that going on?
I've got LibertyCon coming up next weekend in Chattanooga. It's a little sci-fi convention. I'll be in the art show there, and I'll be on a panel. I don't know what other art shows I'm going to apply for. I want to do more shows, but then I realize if I'm constantly trying to get ready for shows, then that's a lot less time to, pop out commissions and
for sure. Yeah, it's time consuming.
And develop art for shows I want to, exhibitions I want to do. It's been like 3 years since my last exhibition, and I've barely had the time to tend to my own actual artwork outside of commissions and random experimentations of art, and shows. And I want to do another exhibition. This thing is, I guess what I'm saying is I've worked on my art. But I've also counted, and I've got 60 not shows. Geez, I wish. I've got probably around 60 projects that are currently in the works. A lot of them are, some of them are small. A lot of them are small. Some of them are big. Some of them are commissions. Some of them are ones I've put on the back burner because I'm not as concerned about those. There's just, things I was curious about that I maybe eventually will pick back up and finish, just because I don't like having unfinished work. But I've also moved on from them, if that makes sense. So if I go back to them, I got to reapproach them from a new perspective.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to try to make it look the way I would have done it years ago. But at the same time, I've got new ones that I might do. Okay. To answer your question, I may try to do Monsanto Art Festival. I may try to do Space Coast Art Festival in Florida, Cape Canaveral, in October. I don't know. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if I will or not. I did it once, and it was just a bunch of people saying, "I love your work, but I could never afford it." So I barely broke even, But yeah, I was just, I was going to say, since 10 years after this drawing was done, I did a t-shirt of it for my first t-shirt run. I am going to focus on doing more t-shirt designs, just because the satisfaction I got of getting that made and getting them in the hands of all the people that loved them. It's fun. And I've got a lot more I want to try, but I don't want to do them too often, because I don't want it to be like, this guy's trying to cash in, But I also want to do a 10-year anniversary painting or two. Some of my old ideas redone in.
Clever. I said, that's clever. I like that.
Yeah, kind of redone in a style that fits the way I approach it now. Yeah. And because I'm looking at the old oil painting I did for a class of the model rockets in the flower pot with the flower growing out of them, and it had kind of a dolly-esque background. And I'm like, man, I'm a better painter now. I don't paint with oil, but I can make this look. I could take the same concept and make this look a million times cooler now. And because I don't necessarily want to do a 10-year re-release of that print as much as I want to do maybe, that particular work. I kind of want to take and completely redo it, because I feel like it's a cool idea that deserves to look better than it did. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, sorry.
I was about to say, that's about all I got to say about that. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you just got a lot of stuff that's in play right now that you're thinking about and wanting to, work on and develop more. So that's pretty exciting.
Also got to, trying to get into the world of mural art.
Yeah.
I'd love to do my work big. Or, a friend sent me a video clip from a movie, or showed me a video clip of a movie of a woman, this guy going around, the tax collector going around and asking people, so what do you do for a living? What is your occupation? This older lady, she says, well, sometimes I paint, sometimes I write, sometimes I do photography, sometimes I make music. But she says, I create atmospheres. And I'm like, whoa.
That's cool.
I love that. That's exactly how I feel. I'm trying to create an atmosphere. I describe it as I create windows into another world. Yeah. I create atmospheres, and or that's how I see it. It's like a kid on a playground in his mind, creating a world and creating little windows in frame on people's walls.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for talking to me today. I love what you're doing. I love the outlook that you have as far as what's going on right now in the world. And I think it's the right way to look about it. And how can people find your art? Like, where is the best to go?
My Instagram for right now. I'm also on that Kara app.
Because,
because it, a new app that everybody's going to, who knows? Maybe it's a chance to start new and build a bigger audience. And who knows what'll happen. I mean, might as well try it. But there's a million different apps coming out every day now because of response to the way Meta is doing things. And Blue Sky and Threads and Vero and Kara and X is, who knows what's going to happen to that. But so I'm on Instagram still, ethereal geometry. The trick is in getting the word ethereal spelled correctly. So ETHEREALGEOMETRY is my Instagram handle. I also have my photography available on there. When I say available, I mean like I have a photography account. I do prints of my work, but
that's cool.
Rogue_rocketry_photo.
Awesome.
And then ADHD_air. Well, it's ADHD air and spaces. It was an alternate account, but it's like underscores in between each word. etherealgeometryarts.com is another way you can find me.
Cool.
You can also find me at Ethereal Geometry Arts on Kara. Also find me at Low Mill Arts and Entertainment, Studio 2048. If you drop by randomly, I'm probably not there because I'm probably running errands or painting at home. But if you message me beforehand, I will let you know when I'll be there. So
nice.
Yeah.
That would be really no, you're good. I think we really touched on some important stuff, and you've got so many cool things happening. I hope it inspires other people to, think outside the box and try some different things and maybe make some connections with somebody that they have been, really loving their work online or, just trying to reach out to other people. And maybe that's the key to like getting in a show that you would have never gotten in previously, or something like that. That's really inspiring. It is. I mean, it's a route to try. And I think it's really cool that you were able to do that and made that connection.
Yeah.
But thank you for talking to me today.
Thank you for listening to Art Talk with April. New episodes are out every Tuesday at 6 p.m.